Yes, sir. It's going down. It's 103.5 KTU, the beat of New York. I tell you, I have my family coming in here. This is not a normal interview. This is actually familia, people. My man DJ Envy, my sis Gia's in the building. The Caseys are up in here.
Yes, what's up?
How you feeling? This is different kind of energy, all right?
Yes,
You're in a pro show. This is the biggest party in New York every single night.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They're bringing the hookahs in right now.
Aye.
You know, I mean, we got the bottles coming.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? And it's like a normal, you know, this is when it has to be, because when I see you guys normally, that's what we have.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We have it's three things. It's either hookah, drinks, or it's just kids.
That's right.
Kids.
Right.
Yes.
Or it's kids on one side and hookah on the other.
Right. We normally have like the kids with like people watching the kids on
With the
one side,
jumpies,
and
and then
just every once in a while, you know what I'm saying?
on the other side.
It's always a party and always a great time when we link up. You guys are definitely family. And congratulations.
Thank you.
New book out now.
Book number 2, Real Life.
Let me see.
Real
I need the book, man. I
Yeah,
need
I'm
actual.
sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I should have sent you the book. Yeah, Real Life,
Just
Real
send it to
Family.
me. I'm gonna drive to the house and just grab one. Real Life, Real Family, a guide to raising empowered children. It's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, watching you guys, you know, and it's funny because we obviously are friends and family, right? But we've never had this kind of conversation in this, by the way, small studio. This is not the main studio.
I know.
For the people watching, you know, but the main studio right now, they're fixing something. So they said I broke something, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this is amazing to be able to sit down and talk to you guys. You guys have been a real inspiration. Obviously, you know my family, and we look at a lot of things you guys do, and you know, and it's just great, man. I've always said, you know, as being a father in this industry, you know, and I'm speaking to you, Envy, right? Being a father in this industry, especially an industry that has catered so much to and pushed this narrative of, you know, a different lifestyle, and we kind of and you obviously led the way, and we've been pushing this different lifestyle to people, and people see it everywhere I go now.
Yep.
So I used to be looked at back in the day as, yo, the wild DJ, Prostyle, come through, you can bring all the chicks and the da-da-da and the bottles and stand on the couches. Now I'm sitting down. And they know me for now. Everybody who comes up to me in the club is asking me, oh my God, how's your wife?
How's
oh my
your son
God,
doing? Yeah.
I love your kids. I seen the videos, and I'm sure
Yes.
everywhere you guys go, that's what you get, right?
Yes, it's a big part of our identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what the work's for, right? When they see that, it doesn't make you feel good just to know that, you know, you're putting such
Absolutely.
a positive message out to all the
Yes.
people out there, and letting them know, like, this is what it's really about.
It's
It's really
very
about
rewarding.
growth and family and taking care of, you know, each other and taking care and growing up, you know, and raising your kids correctly.
That's the most important thing. It's just to see your kids do so well, and other people come to you and be like, yo, I love what your kids are doing. I'm going to try that with my kids, or I'm going to try that with my family. That's the most important thing. I want to go back, though,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Is it cool to mention other stations here or no?
Of course.
All right. So for those who don't know, me and Prostyle met kind of in a weird situation, right?
Right.
I knew Pro, he knew me, but we both got to Power 105
Same
17
thing.
years ago.
Yeah. We
17 years ago.
actually started, I just told somebody today, as a matter of fact, because I was like, you know, I was like, you know that we started the same exact day, essentially. When you guys started the morning show, I started afternoons.
Yes.
I remember sitting with you guys, I remember talking to Charlamagne on the side when, you know, he was just there with his hoodie on, sitting in the corner, like, didn't know. He was like, I'm ready for whatever happens, you know. It was like, you guys hadn't even started day one yet.
But even before that, because remember I did a year here before.
Yeah, I remember.
And me and Pro, and this is when Power was not a great station. It was a joke station. They were laughing at it. And me and Pro got here. We said, yo, let's team up together and let's build the station as much as possible. Let's go out every night.
Yep.
Pro was big uptown. I was big downtown. We would cross promote, do each other's clubs, always supported each other, always together, always roll with each other. And we helped build the station to what it was when it was falling. And I always respected that. And me and Pro would go out every night.
Everywhere.
It would go together. It was both of us. Oh, what time you coming? I'm going to come get you at the door. What time you coming? And we built it to where it was that thing where we kind of took over New York City.
Yeah.
And I just always said, you know, thank you, because we did that together.
No, big time.
We did
big
that
time.
together.
We had a very strong wave going for a long time. And then, you know, we took it from that, like I said, and now it's like we're kind of like leading the way with the family,
With the kids,
you know,
yeah.
and pushing the kids first now instead of
Absolutely.
pushing the clubs and I always say, like, yeah, I'm not pushing the cars right now. I'm pushing the kids.
You're
That's
pushing
for
the
sure.
kids, right.
I'm like, can't pay for that car. I'm paying for these private schools right
That's
now.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
College is crazy.
Apple Montessori is very expensive,
Yes,
people.
it is.
Apple Montessori is very expensive.
I'm still going through it.
All of my kids
Yeah.
went to Apple Montessori.
Yeah. The same one that I think my kids are going to now.
Yes, the
you know,
same
Which I
one.
got to thank you guys. So where I live now, right, is Envy and Gia actually put us onto it, right? So I never forget. I remember being in a club. I remember the first time you showed me your house from like an overshot view, and I was like, "What the hell is that? What the fuck? Like, yo, this is crazy." Like, first of all, surrounded by forests and all this. I was like, "What?" And I never, because first of all, people don't know. So I was born and raised in Queens, right?
What part of Queens?
Moved. You know what, man? I was in Parsons. I was born in Queens Hospital, right? Stood over there with my cousin Ray, who works in the building in Jamaica Avenue. So, and we kind of like never really had a place. Like we stood in my grandmother's basement for a while, So I don't remember actually having like an actual place. We bounced around. That's just what it was. But we loved it, right?
Yes.
You don't know when you're a kid, right? And then we moved to Orlando. I think I was like about 12 years old when we moved to Orlando, and then I came back, right? But so I never witnessed that. I never even knew anybody who had some stuff until Envy started showing me pictures and videos in the club one night, and we were drinking. I was like, "Bro, you're tripping. What is that? No way. That's your house?" Like, bro, I'm in an apartment over here in Weehawken with a nice view. I thought I was the shit. You know what I'm saying? So then when me and my wife got together and we started deciding to shop, I remember we were like, let's look out there. We're like, and I was like, no way. Like, I'm in the club too much. I was like, I can't drive an hour. Are you bugging? Like, and it was hard at first, actually, because when I started doing it, those long nights where you have a couple drinks. Now I don't drink anymore and drive, which is how you should always do it, right? But, but what we have now, we got a beautiful place, and it's really thanks to you guys for hooking us up with the area. You know what I'm saying? And everyone there knows you guys all the time. Everyone
really?
Yeah, because they're like, you're a DJ. Oh, do you know the other DJ?
You know the other DJ?
Like, yeah,
and now you have the house with the crazy overhead.
Overhead view.
Oh, you still guys have it. Yo, now I have
You have the house with overhead
now I
view.
can do the drone shot. You see me out here, you know what I'm saying, with the 7 acres, with the quads running around. But it's all for the kids. When we moved there, it was nobody. It was just me and my wife in a dark. When I say dark area with black bears walking around. And you see, I posted a video that I had 5 bears in my backyard. 5.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you guys have bears still where you're at now?
Well, where we live now, there's no bears. There's a bunch of deers, but there's no bears.
Yes.
We actually still have the house.
No way.
Yeah, we
still
still
have
have the
it.
house.
Can I use the pool over there?
Yes.
Is somebody living there or no?
My dog actually lives there.
Your dog?
The dog lives there.
How
yes.
disrespectful. A dog has so my dog has a nice little 10,000 square foot dog house.
The dog lives there. So we're actually probably going to sell that house probably this year or next year. Our daughter recently graduated from
congratulations.
NYU, and she does real estate. She builds from the ground up. We kind of wanted that to be her first property that she sold. So she has that property. She's going to put it on the market. Let her do what she does.
That's amazing, man. Like I said, you guys set the goals and the levels and the expectations so high, which is amazing and how it should be, right? So when you look at how you guys are living and what you're doing for your kids, it's an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that other people, it's just is what it is. Like we always were like, this is amazing. We got to focus. We got to lock in,
Thank you.
And I love how you always keeping your wife happy and doing what you got to do. I always tell people, it's the saying that everyone knows, right? It's happy wife, happy wife.
That's right. Happy wife. Happy wife. Absolutely positive.
I don't know who threw the happy life thing in there, okay? Happy wife, and that's what's important.
You better challenge him on that.
No, he's right. Happy wife.
But all right, let's talk about the book. Talk about the book. You guys already had Real Life, Real Love out.
Yes.
What would be the biggest difference between the first book and the second book for those who already had purchased the first, who already have gone through the first book?
Well, the first book highlighted our experience as a couple. So it was the good, bad, and the ugly, coming from a couple that's been together now for 31 years.
Amazing.
And married 24 years.
24, I'm about to say.
So needless to say, we've gone through as
everything.
Much as a couple can go through.
Yeah.
So there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been wins, there's been losses. And we wanted to share that in a book in the sense of community, because we found out that so many people experience the same things.
Absolutely.
We're all living and sharing the same life experience, but so many people put, as Rashawn calls it, their highlight reel out there. I'm going to show you the best of my life. And
not the lows,
Yes, I'm going to leave you to just assume that that's what life is like every day. But for me, that's not relatable because that's not true. It's not authentic. Yes, you have those good times, but you also have bad times.
Yeah,
you also have tough times. You also have to go through a lot of stuff to succeed as a couple. We've been together since I was 15 and he was 16. So we had a lot of learning to do.
Yeah.
We both had to...
Especially starting at an age like that.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
We both had to individually evolve. We had to grow together as a unit. We had to compromise. We had to find ourselves. We had to discover what was important. And that took us on a real tour. that took us on a real tour. So there was so much that we wanted to share, a lot that most people wouldn't share.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But you know what's so beautiful? That when you come out of it on the other side, it's unbreakable now.
It's unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Makes you
It's
strong.
unbreakable.
It's unbreakable. It's unbreakable.
There's
you know
so
what I'm saying?
much. There's so much learning.
Yeah.
And once you learn those things together and you grow as a unit, it's just something that can't be surpassed.
Yeah.
And we wanted to share that journey for so many people that were experiencing the same thing, and if not the same, something similar, that fell into a lot of the same pitfalls that we fell into, that experienced some of the highs that we experienced. And maybe just wanted to share that joy with them, and they could relate to that as well. There's so much in that book. There's
Just imagine
so
how many
life lessons.
relationships you guys have saved from people reading your book. Have you gotten messages?
We hear it
What?
all the time.
Yeah.
People stop us at
Constantly.
the airport, stop
Yeah.
us at the mall, DM
Stopped
us.
us in Turks and Caicos when we were on vacation. Another family that
How
was
dare they?
vacationing.
They don't know that you're in Turks and Caicos.
I was so honored. They came up to us with their children, and they told us that they wouldn't have been there on that vacation together as a married couple, but for our book.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and
That's
let
what
me
it's
tell you, everything that we shared, that in hindsight we're like, maybe we shouldn't have shared that. It was like, you know what? It was worth it.
It was worth it.
You know, whatever embarrassment, well, I wouldn't even call it embarrassment because I was never embarrassed, but however the blogs tried to run with it or twist it or
That's their
take
job.
things out of
Yeah.
context or share half-truths or whatever about the content of the book, it didn't matter because the way in which it helped so many people, and when you get those testimonies, you don't care about any of the
don't care about
negativity
nothing.
because
Yeah.
that's really the reason why we wrote the book.
Yeah.
It was really to help people in the sense of like that village mentality, like each one teach one. Like we've been through some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
We want
Well,
to
you
teach
guys
you
are
how
an
to
open
get
book.
through it.
You know, and I've heard you say like you're definitely
Yes,
open book,
well-
and I give you guys all the credit to that.
Thank
I
you.
know you've talked to Shreen, like they've reached out to us about doing these shows and the reality
Yes,
shows, and
yes.
and then she gets all excited about it and she talks to me. I'm like, no, I don't know about it. I'm like, you really want them to see you like wearing a doobie in the nighttime because you don't want your hair to get messed up? I'm limping around because I'm getting arthritis because I'm getting older. Like, I don't really know if I really want all that on TV. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's real and it's authentic,
I get it. Yeah.
then there's value there.
No, I
There's
get it.
no value in anything that's not true. You know,
No, you're
so
absolutely right.
I wouldn't mind any of that. But with the reality TV thing, the problem with that
They
is
only want to portray what
And I get it.
exactly. You're not
Of
in
course.
control.
And that's the conversations every time, and I'm sure you're aware that every time I've had to talk to a producer when they've reached out to us.
Yeah.
And I know you guys have had the conversations with them too, because they'll bring you guys up, and or Shreen will say, I talked to Gid.
Yes.
And I'm just like, listen, we're gonna be boring for you guys because we're not gonna push none of that kind of.
We're
crazy,
happy over here.
Yeah, we're happy
We're
over
actually
here.
happy over
I'm, do we argue? Of course. And they're like, well,
Right.
it can't be. I'm like, of course we have arguments, but I don't think it's gonna be the arguments that are gonna get you guys a bunch of ratings.
Right.
Like, yeah, we might argue because she wants to order a certain type of food and I want something different.
Yes.
Or she just doesn't know what to eat. But you know what I'm trying to say?
Of course.
But we all go through it, and gotta respect you guys for being an open book. And
Yes.
it's it's people like you guys who, like you said, help the other ones, and you get those testimonies. So now this book is gonna be people with obviously. Congrats on the 6 children.
Thank you.
Is 7 on the way?
No.
That's
No.
what I heard.
No, you definitely
did
did
not
not
hear
hear that. That birdie lied to
I
you.
put that in the universe, okay?
You did not hear that.
No, we are done. We're
done?
Yes.
That's
yes.
how I feel too, man. But
Do you
but
really?
I do.
You don't
but
want the girl?
See, that's the problem. Shreen wants the girl.
Yeah.
But I feel also like what's it? So let me think here. It's like I try to calculate numbers. Like if I have one now, she'll be 1, and the our youngest will be 6 by the time she turns 1. So
That's still a decent spread.
well, our oldest Alexander, he's little. He's like this little
Yes.
he'll be a great babysitter. That's the only thing I look at. I'm like, well, we will have help now, right?
But see, that's what Madison. Madison's 23. Our
Your
youngest is
oldest
3.
became like your helpers, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah. They pitch in. Like we are a team. We are a
Yeah.
unit.
It's a team.
Yes, we help each other. Like everything. Like if there's sneakers laying around in the house and I see it, I'm like, hey, Brooklyn, pick those up. I'm not gonna get it, but they're not mine. Doesn't matter if they're yours or not.
Oh my God, I go through that
Like
right now.
we work as a team.
Yeah.
We help each other. And if you didn't have to bend down and pick it up, whether it's London's or Peyton's, I would have to bend down and pick it up. So in essence, you're helping me. We help each other.
Oh, we're at that fighting stage in our house now with our 2 oldest. Oh, they're like all day they just go at it. They're like best friends, but then they like also like everything
2
is a battle.
boys.
And then the little one now is like jumping into it now like it's chaotic,
Yes.
but it's fun. But we do want to have a girl, so you never know.
Yes, you never know.
But we want to make sure we have a girl. So we have to,
You have 4 boys. I got 4
Yeah.
girls, 2 boys, so it's
Yeah.
And
But you had them like you didn't have four girls first, because then that first kid, you guys would have been like, oh my God,
that's
like, that's what happened when we had our third. Like, she was like, well, this one will be a girl, and then it was a boy, and she's like, oh my God.
Yes, no, I know, I remember. We talked a lot about that. We did, me and Shireen. Well, we got married when we were 22 and 23, and we had Madison the same year. Yeah. And the plan was, if the next baby, which came 2 years later, was another girl, we were going to try one more time to have a boy. But we wound up getting a boy with Logan, who's now 21.
So now at that point, you could have just stopped, right?
Could have.
And you could have like, we have the best of both worlds. Yes. We're good. Because then once you had another one, now it was going to be off balance, and then you would have had to go for another one to try to have the 2 and 2.
Exactly.
That's what we did.
That's when it went off, right?
Another boy.
So we waited.
We were 2 for 2.
Oh, you had 2 girls and 2 boys back to back?
Yes.
Oh, so you guys are.
So we had
at that point, you just thought you were unstoppable. You're like, let's have 2 more. One boy, one girl.
And then it was 2 girls.
And God reminded you guys, that's not how it works.
Right.
Yes. But there was a big break. We waited about 9 years before we had the second batch.
But that's great, because you have the help.
Because then we had the help. Yeah.
Because even like I said, Alexander, he's 8 now. He's gonna be 9, and which is crazy, right? Like how fast time flies. And he's gonna be 9, and he's like the biggest help. He wants to, do it, and it's great. I'm like, I can't wait for these kids to start doing landscaping, so I can
cut the grass.
cut that cost. You know what it is? 7 acres is different.
Oh, believe me,
it's a different price. I'm about to be out there pushing
and the snow plowing bill.
That's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole other thing.
It's the same group of guys. The bills don't stop.
Nope.
The bills don't stop.
Never stops.
It's true.
And around where it snows where I'm at. You know this.
I saw for you the other day, right?
Yeah, it snows. It's not snowing anywhere else, but just like on our block. Anywhere else. I post videos and people are like, where the hell? I'm like, I live in Denver, bro. Like,
I live in Denver.
I tell people all the time. I'm in the Alps. Like,
you're in the mountains. So
I'm deep and I'm high.
You're high, so the altitude. Yeah, you're gonna.
Even my neighborhood, when you turn into it, the beginning of my neighborhood is like spring. Like the trees are pink. Then when you get to mine, it's just straight sticks. Yes. Like it's straight winter.
Yes.
Like it's like you drive from like spring into winter by the time you get to my house. But it's cool.
The elevation, baby.
Yeah. But that's dope. So now this book is basically a journey with your children, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Yes, a journey that we experience through parenting. So we've been parents for over 2 decades. So we have so much.
A little experience.
We have so much experience to draw from.
You have so many books when you think about that you guys are going to write.
We have a lot of books.
Think about the journey of colleges, that, through all your children.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
How to pick a college, what college they go to. One went to NYU, one goes to University of Miami. I mean, we just have it's just so much knowledge, and we like to share it because, like I tell everybody all the time, there's no instruction manual when you have kids. There's no instruction manual when you do these things. So you have to rely on other parents, your parents, or friends.
You were a
only child.
Only child. That's right. How about you? Do you have brothers, sisters?
I have a brother.
Okay.
Yes. I have a brother.
Well, that doesn't count then. You were only child. Because I had a sister. I was like an only child. If I had a brother, it would have been different. Yeah, my kids, I tell them all the time, you guys are lucky. You have brothers you could play with. Get outside and play. Like if I had somebody, I had to go to in Queens. You throwing the ball against the wall and it's coming back to you. That's about it. Like they could throw and catch with each other. I'm like, my sister wasn't playing with me. She beat me up.
I do feel bad for Jackson, and I'm probably gonna drop Jackson off at your house a couple times because what happens is Jackson's there by himself.
Yeah.
Remember, because now
they love Jackson.
Logan's out the house.
Yeah.
So he's the only boy in this house run by girls. It's Madison, it's London, it's Brooklyn, and Peyton. And like the other day, he's riding his bike outside. He's trying to pop a wheelie on his own.
I saw the video. You had him on a man's bike.
I know. I had to get a bike. I got a bike.
Even when I saw the video, but I didn't have to say nothing because I saw the 10,000 comments on.
Bro, get him a little bike.
That was funny.
But so the other day I went out there to try to pop a wheelie, and the chain snapped. I was like, you know what? This is not for me anymore. This is not for me. I got to get you. I'm gonna take you to Pro's house. Go hang out with Pro's kids.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I still have a knee problem because of Envy. Pause. That sounded crazy. But when he went on his little bike journey, right? I remember I was like, I gotta get a bike. He's like, get a bike.
Yeah.
So I've never rode bikes outside of just like regular street. But I had a Huffy when I was a kid. Like you ride. I didn't live in the mountains. So now I didn't know anything about the differences in bikes. Yeah, so I go to Walmart and I buy like these mountain bike. I live in the mountains.
I think you told me about this.
So then I go on. So of course, and then here I am. I'm a jogger, right? So I could run 3, 4, 5, 6 miles. I'm fine. Had never had a problem. I jump on this Walmart bike, which I guess now I realize it and nothing wrong with the Walmart bike. I'm just saying it's a heavier bike. I
guess.
Not
if you want to do this type of bike.
Yeah. Right. So then I'm looking at him doing 20 miles. I'm like, I'm out.
Right.
So, and then my neighborhood is not one straightaway. There's everything straight up, straight down, left, right. I take the bike. I'm going through it. Run up and down, trying to figure out how to change gears. So my first day on it, I go like 15 miles. I go out my neighborhood all the way to like down the block to like the main street, come all the way back. I'm out of it. Next day I woke up, my knee was swollen. I've had knee problems ever since.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, definitely. I never got it back.
So you didn't continue riding?
No, the bike's still in the garage. I don't think I've ever took it past in front of my house back.
But there was no trauma. You didn't fall.
There was trauma. No, I didn't fall. I just the trauma was like 2 months after, like of just knee pain. My knee's never been the same ever since that bike ride.
Nah, this ain't it.
Broski. That's just not it. This cycling journey is not for me. I get an electric bike or something like that.
But you were doing the Peloton.
No, I do it every day still. I got a whole gym. You know when you have a gym and you guys know this, in your house, you don't use it.
Yeah.
And you don't work out as good. I'm really like trying to force myself. Like it's like when you go to a gym, everyone's working out, you get the motivation.
You're inspired.
Because I'm having like these little mental competitions in my head. So I'm jogging, somebody get like this old man can't run faster than me. This girl's not gonna outrun me. So if she don't stop, I'm not, I'm having these mental things in my head. At home it's just me. I'm watching TV, I'm like, whatever. I gotta get somebody calls me, I get off, I sit down on my couch, I turn the TV on, now I'm watching Sports Center. I did like 8 minutes of workout, whatever. So you know how it goes. But this is dope. So this book, everyone can get it right now.
That's right. Amazon, or you can get the Audible version. The Audible version is pretty cool because they have bonus content. And the bonus content is actually my general and business manager, Mercedes. She's interviewing our kids. So she interviews the kids without us being there. So it's pretty cool. So you can hear the kids, talk about how mom raises, how dad does it, and discipline and approval and all that. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. And that's only available on the Audible.
On Audible, that's right.
That's fire. Congratulations.
And we narrate the book. So I read my parts, Rashawn reads his parts. So
that's dope.
Because a lot of people, myself included, with 6 kids, I don't have the time to read.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't have the time. And even if I do muster up a little bit of time and I think I have the energy, I get in the bed, I lay down, I open up a book. 6 pages in, I'm in La La Land.
Yeah.
Even if it's the best book, it doesn't matter. I'm so tired. A book is like a lullaby to me in a lot of cases. So for people like that are overexerted, exhausted, burdened, an Audible is an awesome option. You can listen to it on your way to work, on your way home from work, when you're cooking, when you're cleaning. That's when I throw on my Audibles. That's when I throw on the things that I like to listen to on YouTube. It keeps me company. If you're a parent, single parent, 2-parent household, want to be a parent in the future, this book is such a wonderful resource because we poured everything that we know and everything that's important to us as parents into this book, and we left no stone unturned. Everything that I think that made us successful parents and able to be a part of a successful, loving household with empowered children, with confident children with high self-esteem, children whose talents and skills are encouraged, children who are polite and thoughtful and loving and have manners. And that's so
important. And I love how you guys, and that's the same values we keep in our house. Because you can't, some people just have kids, send them to school, and they think that's cool and that's it. You really have to
but you know what
mold almost your kids to being these people.
Exactly. And that's the thing, as parents, we have the ability and the authority to create and cultivate the family that we want, the family that we desire. We have the authority to do that. But it takes a goal. It takes a mind's eye. It takes planning. It takes a deliberate nature to do that. You have to say, this is what I want in a child, and these are the steps that I'm going to have to take to get this from my child. I have to invest in my child. I have to be interested in my child. I have to show my child a tremendous amount of affection, because what is it that children love the most? What is it that people in general, crave the most? More than anything, it's the world's most coveted drug. It's attention.
Yeah.
And it's not just children.
And it's hard when you have multiple kids, right? How do you find the time to balance it, right? We go through it now where sometimes I feel, and obviously the youngest one kind of always will get the most attention, essentially, because you feel bad, because and you have to, we always find ourselves like yelling at the older ones because they're not. We're like, he's not your age,
right?
Yes, because they'll scream at him, and I'm like, look at them, like, bro, you're 9.
We do the same thing. Like, she's only 3.
Yeah, he's 3. Yes. Exactly. He's 3. You're 8. What
she doesn't get it.
Yeah, but he did this. I'm like, why did you hit him? Because he took this. I'm like, whoa, slow down. Slow down.
But it's the same thing. What we try to do is we try to have, I call it dates, but we try to date our children, right? And that just means specific times for them. Just
Each of them individually.
Just like you, we spend a lot of time with our daughters, right?
Yeah.
London and Brooklyn, because they dance, and they dance 6 days a week, and they have competitions. So what I try to do with Jackson is try to do things with him that's just special, just me and him. Take him to the soccer game, take him out to the bike, riding bikes, take him to the basketball game, go to STEM night at his school.
It's a full-time job.
Just to do things. Same thing with my older 23, my 23-year-old. We do things together, just me and her, where she feels special, or just mom and her. And same thing with Logan. Logan comes home and just me and Logan will hang, just do things, so everybody gets that time.
Crazy to see, man, Logan, how big he is now.
Bro,
obviously I've seen them since 10 years ago.
He FaceTimed me last month with Cardi B in the club. He FaceTimed me last week with 50 in the club.
Yeah.
50 gave him $1,000 the other day when they was at a gentleman's club. 50 gave him $1,000. So I called him back. I said, Logan, how much did you leave with? He was like, $700. I said, he only threw 300.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Put 7 in my pocket.
That's what I'm talking about.
He said, Dad, I'm a college student. I said, no doubt. Yeah. But it's just weird to see him out and about. He's grown. So
that's funny.
When he comes home this summer, he gonna be with you. He was like, Dad, can I intern with Pro? I'm like, Pro doesn't have crates, bro. He can't carry his crates. So I carry his laptop. I'm like, all right, I'll ask him.
I mean, you want him to go to clubs at school, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
No, he's outside.
Yeah,
my son is outside. He's outside.
We outside with it.
Cardi said, Envy, I don't want to hang out with you no more. I'm just hanging out with Logan. Like, we outside. Like, they have fun. So
it's crazy. But that's life.
That's life.
The beautiful thing about it, man. The kids won't be kids forever, right? That's why you got to really soak it in while they are kids too. That's another thing. We took like our littlest one now. He's at that stage where he runs in our room every night. You know, and Shreen hates it, and I love it. He climbs into bed. I'm his cuddle buddy. He says, "You're my cuddle buddy." Like, you know, so my kids are really like daddy's boys.
Yeah. Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah, they really are. Well, the oldest is more of a mommy's boy, but the two younger ones for sure.
Well, Shireen seems like she doesn't play.
No, she's definitely the stricter one.
She runs a tight ship.
Yeah, she
right?
does. She does. Yeah. They come to me now because they're like, I'm like, did you ask your mom? Like, she'll say no. Or she'll say no, and then they'll come to me, and I'll say yes, and then we get into arguments. Why you say? I'm like, they never told me that they asked you first.
She told me that the other night when we went to dinner. Yeah. She said that they'll get a yes from daddy and then come to me and confirm the yes.
Oh, yeah, now they do, yeah.
They have to confirm it with her. It's like, what, daddy's yes isn't enough?
Yeah. So then I just say yes anyway. And then when she says no, then I tell them, like, this is why I'm the cool one. Just remember who said yes, okay? All right, whatever.
Yes.
I'll talk to her later.
You know, you probably feel the same way. I suspect that you feel the same way. But being parents, like, we have a lot of jobs, a lot of obligations. Yeah. We're good at a lot of stuff. But I feel like being parents is what we do best.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
For
sure.
Like
there's nothing we do best.
Even when I'm out and I'm doing events and I'm doing clubs and I tell people all the time, I'd rather, if I had it that way, I'd just be home.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in the movie theater.
I'd
rather be playing board games with my kids than doing anything else. That's, you know, like this passion we're in, you know, this music industry, we built a passion for it, and everyone knows this from a young age, right? So it's different from now. Like, I'm not saying the people who are in the music industry now don't have the same passion. It wasn't the cool thing to do when we did it. Like, imagine me. They look at me like, who's this white kid playing all this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm Dominican and Greek, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, I'm still very white, right? So at the end of the day, you know, and carrying crates to the clubs, and you had to have a different passion to want to be in that, right? And I still have the same drive and everything else, and I thought there would be nothing else I would like more. And I still am the same way. I'll be in the car and I catch myself like, I bet you people are looking at me like I'm crazy because I'll be in the car like, especially where we live, I'll be random music and then the car wilding out, and then I look over and I'll be like, hey, what's up? And I'm still into that zone, but nothing gets me more excited now or happier than being with the family.
And I can see you, and it's very easy to see that on you.
Yeah.
Like, you see that on you, and it's so, and not to say that, you know, you both are DJs and whatnot, and that was probably your first loves, but it's so interesting to see two men that have a similar journey that prefer to identify as the family man.
That's right.
Even more so than the DJ. And
well, you know, my bio on my social media, the first thing it says is father and husband.
Yes.
Before everything else that I'm doing, before the radio stuff, before anything else. And I think that's the most important thing. You know, you can't put that. If you're putting that, if you're a father out there listening, or, you know, a husband, and you're putting something else first, then you're already failing.
Yes,
you know, because when you got married, your wife becomes number one, right, in your life. And when you have kids, they become number one, and your wife becomes number two. But you know, but no, everyone is, you know, your family is first at the end of the day.
That's it.
So no, we love what you guys have been doing with your family.
Thank you.
Inspiration always. Obviously, we'll hang out on the side. You know what I'm saying? You know, Gia, by the way, earlier I jumped in her FaceTime, and I guess I'm having a surprise birthday party that she let everybody know about. But I'm just,
yo, I wish you could have seen her face.
I called Shereen actually and told her that. I was like,
on Instagram Live.
I saw her face.
Pro
I was
jumps
watching
in.
it.
I'm like, oh, what's up, Pro? And Gia goes, hey, Pro, we having that birthday party? I'm like, you sure wasn't surprised? Because Shireen likes to surprise Pro.
Yes,
Oh,
she
no,
does
she's
do.
over. I tell her, I mean,
And Gia's like,
she's mad because, 99% of all her surprises I've always known about.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm very attentive. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not letting nothing slide in my house. I think that's important in a relationship also.
Of course.
To just ruin the surprises.
I'm still jealous and all that. Like, I don't play with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you got to be in a relationship, right? Like, I still, look over her shoulder like, yo, who wrote you such a long message? That's the school board. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is, right? So,
yes.
So where she does the best. I mean, she's she's like a party planner, right? Like,
yes, she is.
We want to open up a place, and I think she'll be the best party planner ever in history. But so she's throwing me the best parties, and but yeah, now we're at a point where with the kids' parties, we're like, we're not doing parties. I do birthday parties to make money, like not to sit there, right? So I
do want to say something. Like I said earlier, we went to dinner the other night, and I came home. I don't know if you remember, but I said to Rashawn, I was like, I love the way that Shireen loves Pro.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? And I just went on to tell him some conversations that we had during the night. And I was like, I just love the way that she loves that man. Like, it's a beautiful,
You're probably just saying that, to give her some brownie.
No,
whatever. You want me to go buy her a bag, don't you? You want me to buy her a bag?
I legit came home and told him that,
That's fire.
because
we love each other hard.
Because, like love in our day and age, it's a little different. Yeah. It's a little different, especially with social media.
Oh my
it's
God.
Like you find a lot of the times like a man wants a beautiful woman and a beautiful woman wants a man with money. And if those two people find each other, then it's just content.
Yeah.
And that's so fraudulent.
Yeah.
It's so fraudulent. So when you see a couple that has real love and has a real family and goes through real things and comes out on top and works through things together and is genuinely happy, and you can see in the way that a woman talks about her man.
That's right.
You can see it. You can see it. And that's
everyone knows I love my wife too. So I blow it up all the time.
Of course. But sometimes it's nice to hear it from another person.
Oh yeah,
it's nice to hear it because when that outside person can identify it, it's just another stamp. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that.
So come home with a bag today.
Yeah, so come home with a bag. Damn it.
I got you, girl.
She's going to get some dunks. That's what she's gonna get. I got to go to the store anyway. That's awesome. Well, look, thank you guys for coming by over here at KTU to, the #1 night show in New York and, and hanging out over here.
Thank you so much. Real Life, Real Family is out right now, Amazon, or you can pick up the audio at Audible. And appreciate you guys. And after you read it, please leave a comment. Hit us in the DM on Facebook, TikTok.
Leave reviews.
Wherever you need. Yeah,
people are getting their books. Earlier, we spoke to someone who's like, I'm 2 hours into the Audible. It's amazing. Leave reviews. Let people know what you think. Let people know what you took away from the book, what you learned, how you've grown, or how we've kind of jogged your insight. I just do want to say one more thing before we log out. The book is also kind of written in a workbook style.
Yeah.
So when you go through, yes, there's pictures and whatnot of our family, some that you haven't seen on Instagram, but at the end of every chapter, there's something called a real life reflection, where it's either bullet points that we kind of want to drive home from the chapter that you've just read.
Yeah.
Or there's questions that kind of probe you to think, probe you to be present with the chapter that you just read. Like, how do you apply that chapter to your life? It's a notebook. It's a journal. It's our experiences. It's the experiences of some people that we know that with their permission, we shared their experience in the book as well. It's very relatable. It's for everyone. If you have children with anxiety, ADD, ADHD, single parent, 2-parent households, want to be a parent, not quite a parent yet, it's for you, because there's so many thoughtful things. There's so many things in that book that make you think, not just about children and being a parent, but about life and how we exist within it, and bringing what we want to fruition. So it's for you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us, brother.
Thank you guys for coming by. We're right down the block.
That's right.
See you at your birthday party.
Let's go. It's KTU.